Hi there, students. Cold calling. A cold call to cold call. You know when somebody rings you up and tries to sell you life insurance? This is normally cold calling. Cold calling is the practice of ringing somebody up or also going to visit them at their door to sell somebody something, but in the case where it's not solicited, you didn't ask these people to come, you didn't ask these people to ring you. Or, for example, at an election time, you might find a group of people cold calling on houses in hope of getting you to vote for their political party. Okay, so to cold call as a verb, or cold calling, the activity of visiting a possible customer and trying to sell them something, but without the customer asking you to do so. I personally would call these nuisance calls. And normally, if I see a number ringing me and I don't know the number, I just don't answer it. But this is cold calling. Yeah, you can do it by visiting this person as well. Normally, what defines cold calling is you don't know the person who you're trying to sell something to. And they haven't asked you to come and see them, and this person also has no connection with your company. I have to admit, when I was an antique dealer many years ago, cold calling was one of my selling techniques. You fill the car full of things and you go and visit antique shops, and you walk into the shop and say, I've got some things to sell in the car, would you be interested in buying them? That itself is cold calling. But I think now in the modern world, cold calling, this is ringing people up and saying, buy my product. It's phoning or visiting a possible customer to try to sell them a product or a service, but without being asked by the customer. I think cold calling is a nuisance. It's where a salesperson or a representative makes unsolicited phone calls. You haven't asked for this, and this I think is personally is a real nuisance. I think over recent years, countries have been legislating against this, and I clearly believe there is more and more legislation against this. I'm sure you've all received these nuisance calls, where somebody is trying to sell you their phone company. Change your phone to my company, your phone line, because it's much cheaper. And I personally think that unless you're very careful, cold calling creates bad feeling. It makes you very anti the product if you ever see it on another in another situation. Various countries now have do not call lists. For example, the UK, where you can register, you put your name on this list, and normally it's a criminal offence to phone somebody, to sell them, to cold call somebody once they are on this list. Okay, so cold calling. Well, it's been around for quite a long time. Unsolicited phone calls, unsolicited visits to sell something. Yeah. It's also a very difficult thing to do. Maybe you have a list of people that you've got to telephone that's been vomited out by a computer, SPEW. Computerized lists of phone numbers. But yeah, cold calls I think are a real annoyance, or I would classify them as that as well. So cold calling, I think it's something that's going to that is going to finish. I think cold calling has given the phone industry a bad name, because the person is cold, they're not expecting you, they don't know you, and they're probably just going to say no anyway. But anyway, enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Cold calling. Cold call.